Hi, I'm Deepika Tirte from MVP KPTC Nashik. Let's see the video on user support. User support. There is often an implicit assumption that if an interactive system is properly designed, it will be completely used and the user will require little or no help or training. This may be grand ideal, but it is far from true with even the best design system currently available. It is even perhaps an unhelpful idea. A computer is a complex piece of equipment. What other such a requirement do we expect people to use without instruction or help? A more helpful approach is to assume that the user will require assistance at various times and design this help into the system. The type of assistant user require varies and is dependent on many factors. Their familiarity with the system, the job they are trying to do, and so on. There are 4 main types of assistants that user require. Before that, we will see what are the issues. Different types of support at different times. Implementation and presentation both important. All need careful design. There are 4 main types of assistance that user require, or we can see the types of user support. First is quick reference. Second is task specific help, full explanation and tutorial. Let's see what is quick reference. Quick reference is used as a reminder to the user of the details of tools he is basically familiar with and has used before. It may, for example, be used to find a particular command option or to remind the user of the syntax of the command. Task-specific help is required when the user has encountered a problem in performing a particular task or when he is uncertain how to apply the tool to his particular problem. The help that is offered is directly related to what is being done. The more experienced or a user may require a full explanation of a tool or a command to enable him to understand it more fully. This explanation will almost certainly include information that the user does not need at the time. The 4th type of support required by user is tutorial help. This is particularly aimed at new users of a tool and provides step-by-step instructions of how to use the tool. Each of these types of user support is complementary. They are required at different points in the user experience with the system and fulfill distinct needs. Within these types of required support, there will be numerous pieces of information that the user wants. Definitions, examples, known errors and error recovery information, command options and accelerators. To name but a few. The different types of help required also imply the need for provision of different types of help system. So these are the types of user support. provided by help and documentation. Help problem oriented and specific, documentation system oriented and general. Same design principle apply both. Next is requirements of user support. If we were to design the ideal help system, what would it look like? Requirements of user support. First is availability. The user needs to be able to access help at any time during his interaction with the system. In a particular, he should not have to quit the application he is working on in order to open the help application. It should run concurrently with any other application. This is obviously a problem for non-windowed systems. If the help system is independent of the application that is running. Continuous access concurrent to main application. Next requirement, accuracy and completeness. It may obvious to state that the assistance provided should be accurate and complete. But in an age where applications are frequently updated and different versions may be active at the same time, it is not a problem. However, if the assistance provided proves not to match the actual behavior of the system, the user will at best become with the help facilities and at worst get into difficulties. This completeness is very important if the help provided is to be used effectively. The designer cannot predict the parts of the systems the user will need help with and must therefore assume that all parts must be supported. Finding no help available on a topic of interest is guaranteed to frustrate the user. Basic is help matches and covers actual system behavior. Third, consistency. Users require different types of help for different purposes. This implies that a help system may incorporate a number of parts. The help provided by each of these must be consistent with all these others within itself. Online help should also be consistent with paper documentation. It should be consistent in terms of content, terminology, and style of presentation. It is unhelpful if a command is described in one way here and is another there, or if the way in which help is assessed varies across applications. Consistency itself can be thought of as a means of supporting the user since reinforces learning of system usage. Consistency between the different parts of the help system and paper documentation. Fourth is robustness. Help systems are often used by people who are in difficulty, perhaps because the system is behaving unexpectedly or has failed. It is important then that the help system itself should be robust both by correct error handling and predictable behavior. The user should be able to rely on being able to get assistance when required. For these reasons, robustness is even more important for help system than any other part of the system. Allow user to interact in a way appropriate to experience and task. Next is flexibility. Flexibility allows user to interact in a way appropriate to experience task. Many help systems are will many systems will produce the same help message regardless of the expertise of the system seeking help or the context in which they are working. A flexible help system will allow each user to interact with it in a way appropriate to his needs. Any help system can be designed to allow greater interactivity and flexibility in the level of help presented. For example, help system built using hypertext principles allow the user to browse through the help, expanding topics as required. The top level provides a map of the subsets covered by the help, and the user can get back to this level at any point. Although hypertext may not be appropriate for all help systems, the principle of flexible access is a useful one. So this is flexibility requirements of user support. The last requirement of user support is unobtrusiveness. Does not prevent the user continuing with work. The help system should not prevent the user from continuing with normal work, nor should it interfere with the user applications. This is the problem at both ends of the spectrum. At one end, the textual help system on a non-windowed interface may interrupt the user's work. A possible solution to this, if no alternative is available, is to use split screen presentation. At the other end of the spectrum, an adaptive help system that can provide help actively on its own initiative rather than at the request of the user. It is important with these types of system that the suggest option can be overridden by the user and switched off. So these are the all requirements of user support: availability, accuracy and completeness, consistency, robustness, flexibility and unobtrusiveness. Next is approaches to user support. There are a number of different approaches to providing help, each of which meets a particular need. These vary from simple captions to full adaptive help and tutoring systems. In these approaches to user supports, we'll concentrate on the styles of help provided rather than any particular help system. So first approach is context sensitive help. Help request interpreted according to context in which it occurs. Example, tooltips. These range from those that have a specific knowledge of the particular user to those that provide a simple help key or a function that is interpreted according to the context in which it is called and will present help accordingly. So next part we will see in next video. Thank you.